Hey guys, Jonty Hikmet here. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to do a video today, even though it's a Friday, and I try to upload videos on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but my laptop broke. So I'm committed to still doing YouTube videos, giving you guys TMS knowledge and advice, support, guidance every single week. So sorry that this is on Friday. Hopefully people will still watch this video. I'm going to send out a newsletter with it. Today's video, I wanted to speak about what we're really looking for in terms of evidence that the TMS process, the pain relief process, is working. Oftentimes, with anything that we're doing in life, we're looking to feel better and for feeling better to be the evidence that we're doing the thing correctly. The TMS process, the pain relief process, at least the one that I teach, is a bit different. In this process, the indication that you're actually on the right track isn't the fact that you're necessarily feeling better or feeling more relaxed. It's that changes are occurring. Change is what we're looking for. We're looking for things to change. And obviously, you may say to me, Jonty, surely feeling better is the ultimate indication that I've gotten better, that I've gotten over my pain in some way. Of course, that's the case. But at least while we're in the process, the first weeks, the first months, when it all feels a bit murky, we're not quite sure if we're doing it right or not, the first thing that I want you to look out for is that change is occurring. And where we really begin to practice noticing that change is occurring is in our meditation and is in our journaling sessions. What you notice in meditation is that as soon as you acknowledge what's there and practice sitting with it in the way that I teach, you'll notice changes happening. The change may not be a comfortable one. It could be you notice that you have fear and you notice it in your chest, and then you sit with it, and the change that you notice occurring is that the fear gets bigger. Or maybe the sensation gets bigger. Or maybe you notice another difficult emotion coming on. Or maybe you notice everything stays the same for a bit, and then maybe your response changes. Maybe you start going, oh, this is actually okay. Or maybe you notice some shame taking over, or disappointment, dot, 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 dot. In the early stages of meditation, in the early stages of this process, first couple of months, the indication to look out for that you're on the right track is change is occurring. I don't mean you're forcing changes to occur. I don't mean you sit and meditate and you force yourself to feel a different emotion or you're forcing yourself to feel more relaxed. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the change that occurs when you really are able to just sit back and surrender. One of the changes that John Sarno would speak about occurs is something called the symptom imperative, where you notice pain that usually was in one place in your body. Let's say it was in your back, it suddenly goes to your left knee, or it suddenly becomes headaches. The pain moves around a lot. That also is an indication that you're on the right track in the TMS process, because it's a change that's occurring. Again, it may not be a nice change. It may be that the pain goes somewhere else and it's equally as difficult. But the reason why noticing change is an indication that we're on the right track is because what you start to notice when you get used to changes is that you no longer become as resistant or fearful of any emotions or sensations arising for you because you know it's going to change. When you start to really accept the fact that change is inevitable, it doesn't matter if you have fear or you have calm, you know it's going to pass. And this isn't something that you learn overnight. I can tell you this right now in this video. Change is inevitable. You still are gonna watch this and think, not my pain, not my emotion. This is all here for life. It's only when you really start to meditate, again, in the way that I teach, where you really start to witness changes occurring in the meditation. When we first start to meditate, it's a lot of doubt will arise for you, a lot of confusion. You'll be constantly questioning if you're doing it correctly. And then you'll have a sensation in the back and you'll go, oh, that's really painful. And then there'll be a lot of fear going, God, this is never going to go away. And then there'll be hopelessness. And then your thoughts may go somewhere about dinner later. And then you may start getting restless. Change, 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 change. None of them are comfortable changes, but that's what's happening a lot of. And the more you consistently sit and meditate, the more you'll notice that, oh, these changes are happening without me having to control the situation. And the more confidence you'll then have to sit with things you usually wouldn't sit with. Because one of the intentions of the pain relief process is to learn how to be with emotions like fear and anger. Emotions usually we push away. And the more that you meditate, the more you notice changing happening on its own accord, the more confidence you'll build up to go, all right, this fear that I usually run away from, I'm just going to let it be here. I'm meditating for 10 minutes. After the meditation, I can always not feel my fear and just distract myself again. But in this meditation, I'm just going to practice being with this fear. I'm going to see what happens. And the first time you do that, you'll probably notice it gets bigger. It may scare you, and then you may try and back yourself off again. You go the next day, meditate again. Fear comes up again. You go, okay, I'm going to sit with it again, see what happens. The more you notice change, the more confidence you get to sit with emotions and sensations that usually you run away from. So it's a quicker video than normal today. It's later in the week than I usually would like it to be. My laptop broke. It's so annoying. I had to sit with annoyance in my meditation. But I wanted to get on and give everyone a lesson for the week. The lesson being that the indication that the process is working for you is that change is occurring. Look out for change. The changes may not be so comfortable. That's okay. I'm not telling you to force changes to happen. Notice if those parts of you are coming up to try and force change. Let those parts know you get why they're here. But change will happen whether we like it or not. You know, not only in our meditation experience, we all get older. That's a phenomenon that we take for granted. Or rather, not take for granted. We just don't think about it. It's strange. We get older. The days pass. Change occurs whether we like it or not. It's the same with our internal experience. The reason why we may have had the same pain for a long time or the same emotions for a long time is because unknowingly we're doing a lot of resistance. We're repressing, which is unconscious resisting of emotions. It's not the emotions that are creating the sensations, the pain in the body. It's the fact that we're pushing it down all the time. And we're repressing it. It means we're unconsciously doing it. When we sit and we meditate and we notice there's chaos, we notice there's a lot of doubt and confusion and fear and resistance to fear, that messiness of the beginning of this process can feel very scary, and people are looking for evidence that the whole process is working. And this is me here telling you that evidence it's working is that change is occurring. The beginning of the process is going to be messy for everyone, whether you like it or not. And if it's really messy and really difficult, that's why I've set up a community to help people really understand how to embrace change and how to notice it happening and what to do when things feel more intense and what to do when things move around. That's why I set up the community, to support people, give people lots of lessons like this, do weekly calls. That was the point of the community, setting it up. Because when you can get through the first couple of months, noticing changes, consistently meditating, you start to notice, you build up a lot more capacity and confidence to sit with something knowing that it's going to change. You've seen it happening now over the last couple of months. You've seen that it doesn't matter how much doubt and confusion and fear you have, it comes and it goes. Like I said, what may replace it is more discomfort, but then that kind of passes and gives you something else. So that's the video. As always, I'm sure I've probably left something out, and after the video I'm suddenly going to go, I should have said that as well. But I was a bit flustered this week trying to get this video together, so the fact that I've got anything out is important. If you have any questions about this whole change thing that I'm speaking about and how that's an indication that the process is working correctly, then ask away. Was there anything else I wanted to say? Yeah, the reason why the same pain stays around for a long time is because we're doing a lot of resisting. When we go inside and we notice we're doing a lot of resisting and we start to practice staying with things, that's when the natural occurrence of change begins to happen. Change happens, let me say this one more point. Change happens a lot more easily and readily when we're able to go inside and let whatever needs to be here. I've said it on previous videos. The life cycle of an emotion and a sensation is actually fairly quick if we have the confidence to allow it to be there, to allow it to get bigger. One of the affirmations I'll often give people in my one-on-one sessions when they notice an emotion is I ask them to assess their ability to allow that emotion to be there as long as it needs to be and to get as big as it needs to be. Can you let your fear get as big as it needs to be? Can you allow it to be here as long as it needs to be? If parts of them say no, they can't, then we turn towards those parts and sit with them. But what we're doing by going inside is we're beginning to practice acknowledging emotions and sensations and allowing them to be there. And by doing so, you notice that things will rise and rise, get bigger, and then they kind of ease back. And then they may rise again. And then they may ease again, over and over again. The more we can acknowledge and allow what's there, the more naturally we allow change to occur. So if you're watching this, that is in my community, or you're watching this just on YouTube, if you start this process, you start to meditate, start to journal, and you're a bit not sure if it's working or not, if you're noticing change occurring, then that's the indication that this is working, even if those changes aren't so comfortable. If you need more support or guidance on this, then you can join the community. You can join my community. I can give you support and guidance on this. The changes may not feel comfortable. I think that's it. I think I'm kind of just blabbering on now. I'm trying to preemptively think if I left anything out. I hate leaving things out on the video. I can always create another video about it another week. So for now, that's the video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or shares, you can do so in the comments on YouTube or in my community, obviously. You can just ask away. But see you soon.